end of the day. But
I think that game was just the draw didn't help them. Like, or just go and play.
But we knew what Rangers did under Ogumbote.
Yeah.
The manager is also a key factor.
Definitely.
Ogumbote with Rangers side last season in the CAF Confederation Cup went 8 matches unbeaten. 8 matches unbeaten from the qualifiers to the group stages. You understand? Before the results started, going bad. Yeah, they even lost at home. At some point to one of the North African teams, the Tunisian teams, right there. But come on, this time around, I don't see them getting anything against Al Masry. The atmosphere will not be favorable for them. The weather will not be favorable for them. The fans will be very hostile like they usually do. That's what they usually do, and it plays into the minds of the opposing teams, especially those of them from the sub-Saharan African part. And at the end of the day, they beat you before you even get to kick a ball, and that is usually the case. Ask Rivers United, they will tell you. Ask Yimba, they will tell you. Ask
balls and funny things.
So it's a usual thing, and I don't see Rangers getting a result tomorrow night. Right there in Egypt. 2 matches, 2 defeats. It will be difficult for them to even qualify from that group.
All right, all the best to our Nigerian sides. I will be here, of course, to talk about these same games tomorrow. Hopefully, one of them should have finished
by 2 p.m.
Yeah, by 2
4 p.m. the match would have been over.
Exactly. So 0817-0000951, 0810-9510951. Good evening. Welcome to the Sports Live.
Good evening to you all there in the studio.
Good evening. Stella West, I suppose.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to the show.
I believe all games are not the same. It's the atmosphere on a particular game that determines how the game goes. So I think you cannot write off the Rangers like that. They might go there and pull surprises, and see coming to losing one game, they are still in contention. They can go and get a draw or even win. But the people that I'm afraid is Enyimba. Enyimba, if you watch the way they play their game, they are not very consistent in their play. When you expect them to win, they lose. When you expect them to lose, they win. So I think the people I'm afraid is Enyimba, not Rangers. Rangers might pull surprises.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Stella West. Well, it's halftime right there in England. And let me just run through the results. The first game of the day was between Everton and Chelsea. Everton did beat Chelsea 3-1. AFC Bournemouth now is halftime right there between AFC Bournemouth and Liverpool. Yes, at the Vitality Stadium, and it's Liverpool leading that one by 2-0. Tottenham Hotspur, yes, they are up against Burnley at home right there, and it's Tottenham leading 3-0 right there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Watford are currently playing out a goalless draw with Crystal Palace, and later on by 6:30, Manchester City will be up against Manchester United. And in the Spanish La Liga, one game was concluded earlier. Real Madrid, they did beat RCD Espanyol 2-0. Yes, goal scored right there by Karim Benzema. He also assisted the first goal, I think, for Rafael Varane to also score. Granada are currently taking on Deportivo Alaves and is goalless in that encounter. It's halftime also in that encounter now. Levante will be up against Valencia later on by 6:30. Barcelona will take on Mallorca by 9 p.m. And in the Serie A, Atalanta, they are currently leading Verona by 3-2. That game is in the 90th minute. Udinese will be up against Napoli by 6 p.m. while Lazio will take on Juventus by 8:45. In the German Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund, they've made it 3-0 now against Fortuna Düsseldorf. Quick goals scored by Thorgan Hazard and Jadon Sancho in the 58th and 63rd minute to make it 3-0. Marco Reus with the first goal for Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Mönchengladbach, yes, they've equalized. It's now Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, Bayern Munich 1. Ivan Perisic did give Bayern Munich the lead in the 49th minute before Rami Bensebaini equalized for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Augsburg, they're planning to win a draw with Mainz 05. RB Leipzig, they're leading Hoffenheim by 2-0, while Freiburg are currently playing out a goalless draw with Wolfsburg. That game is in the 68th minute. Bayer Leverkusen, the Tees, will take on Schalke 04 by 6:30. The games in the French League 1 2 would be kickstarting. The first game should be kickstarting by 5:30 between Montpellier and Paris Saint-Germain. Other games to see: Monaco take on Amiens, Rennes will take on Angers, and Nice to take on Metz. Strasbourg will be up against Toulouse. Well, we've talked about the Nigeria Professional Football League. We've talked about the issues with referees. Some referees suspended, and we hear that they'll be sent for a refresher course before they would be brought back into the MPFL. We've asked, is that a good idea? Sending them for a refresher course. Shouldn't it just be a demotion or something? Or maybe promote some others in their place, at least for the meantime, or give them some time out in the game. But they'll be going for a refresher course. We've talked about Nigeria's teams on the continent, talking about Enyimba and Rangers. They will be up against their counterparts tomorrow. Enyimba will be up here in Nigeria against San Pedro, while it will be Al Masry against Rangers in Egypt. Good evening. Welcome to the Sports Live. Hello. Okay. See if you can if you can call us back. 0817 0000951 0810 9510951. And from there, we switch our attentions to the Super Eagles. All right, before we get to the camp of the Super Eagles, let's see if we can get to hear from that caller. Good evening. Hello. Okay, we're really struggling to hear you. Let's see if you can call us back. And the Nigeria Professional Football League, we're done with that. Now we are going to the Nigerian Football Federation, no longer the league. Nigeria Football Federation President Amaju Pinnick has fired back at Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr over claims that he's owed 3 months' salary. The Eagles coach had in an interview with a website, InsideFootball.com, said the NFF owed him $100,000 in bonuses and allowances. The Federation quickly came out to deny in a press statement issued by the media department of the NFF. According to the NFF, the Eagles coach was owed $30,000. The football body then queried Rohr for breaching his contract by disclosing the details of his salary to journalists. The NFF president reiterated while speaking with journalists in Asaba. Quoting him now, he said, "We don't owe you." That's Rohr he's referring to. "You cannot come out to say that we owe you salary. We pay you, an employee, and you must respect the employer because we pay you salary religiously," Pinnick told journalists. "If they pay you, you don't come out to say they pay you. There are some things you don't say." Rohr's present contract is set to expire in June 2020. The guys in the studio already, they've been chuckles around already. But let me start with you, Emeka. This he didn't disclose, he disclosed. Was Rohr wrong to disclose the details of his salary to some journalists that probably asked him?
He was wrong because there was a clause in his contract. Not just one, there are clauses in his contract that forbids him from doing so. That's where he erred. Ordinarily, it wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it's my job. I get paid. I'll tell a friend or maybe a journalist, this is how much I'm paid and what have you. But there was a provision in his contract that says you should not do that. It's a confidential. But he signed the contract, so it should be binding on him too, because he put pen to paper, to that effect. The provision says don't disclose. It's confidential. It's between two parties, so don't let the whole world know about it. You understand? If you're okay with it, sign. If you're not okay, walk away. You understand? He signed. Then he shouldn't go and be telling some journalists that are close to him that he's paid XYZ amount. He hasn't been paid for 3 months, 4 months, what have you, and all that. And look at where we are right now. So that's why I said it's wrong, because already you have a contract, you signed, you agreed to abide by the terms of that contract. Then you should also behave that way. Rohr hasn't done that.
Well, let me come to you, Ghana man. Could this in any way affect Rohr's relationship with the NFF and the Super Eagles eventually?
Well, we're already seeing the frosty nature of the relationship between both parties, with the back and forth talks from Rohr, from the NFF, and last time I hear that they want to sue him and all that. If it continues like that, definitely me too, because there's a popular saying that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that will suffer, and the grass in this case will be the Super Eagles and the team's performances. Because when the head loses its way, the whole body follows, and the head of the team is gonna throw. If he does not focus on the job at hand, which is qualifying the Super Eagles for the Nations Cup in 2021, then definitely it will tell on the result, because he will not be fully committed to the team when he's battling with the NFF and all that. I think he just a minor misunderstanding. Just like Chidubem said, it is global best practices that these things are actually public knowledge. I just took my phone out to check how much does Gareth Southgate earn. It is there, 1.8 million pounds. They need to hide them. It is there. It is not a hidden thing. But it's only in Nigeria.
Yeah, we hide even down to your age.
Yes, it is only in Nigeria that these things are actually kept secret.
Undisclosed.
Yes, it is Nigeria that these things are kept secret. It is like we are running a secret organization, a secret code from the NFF to the club sides. I hear last time during the Rivers United and Unicel contract signing ceremony and all that, the club GM or chairman Oke Paluku was asked, how much is this deal worth? The man was called, he refused to disclose. But these things should be public knowledge, especially in a club of Rivers United that actually belongs to the good people of Rivers State, both residents and citizens alike. We contribute to Rivers United, so we should know. It's supposed to be there. It's supposed to be public knowledge. But for the NFF, they deem it fit that they actually put these things in the contract. And just like Emeka said, Genethro's eyes wasn't closed. He signed the contract and submitted it to his embassy, German embassy. So you actually know that these things are binding on him. But then again, like I said, it should be global best practices that these things are aired. I don't know why they keep keeping these financial commitments very secret and are so secretive about it. But at the end of the day, just like you asked, if this squabble between the NFF and the Super Eagles coach Genethro continues, it will definitely tell on the result, on the performances of the Super Eagles going forward.
Chidubem, it's just few months to the end of his contract. Some people have said he's just staying there because they don't have that 1 million to pay him off, and they just want him to run down the contract. Do you buy into that? Do you buy into that sentiment?
Honestly, I don't see any reason why you sack a man who's going to be out of job in 5 months, 6 months now, because it doesn't make any sense really. We don't have any major game to play before then. Maybe in March. I think we have one qualifier. It stays in March now.
Yes, then in August.
Yeah, so I don't see any reason why you have to fire him, because eventually he gets to take a stroll in June. That's if you don't want him anymore, and you get to save the little monies you're going to pay him if he was going to be fired. So for me, I think it's only logical that the man is allowed to stay and see out his contract if he's going to be let go at the end of the day. But I think this discrepancy is coming in now. It's just shady. It's all colors of shady, really, because I still don't understand. I'm trying to understand why we even got here in the first place. For me, I think it's a good thing that Genethro has even done this, because it brings to the fore some of the things that we should know. I'm sure there are lots of Nigerians out there who didn't know that his contract is not public, or the monetary aspect of his contract now is not public, and it should be public. I don't understand why I won't be able to know how much my coach is paid. It only tells me that the NFF perhaps knew beforehand
that they would owe him,
that they were going to owe him, or something unscrupulous somewhere was going to happen on course of his contract. And I don't know whatever they were thinking when they added that to the contract, but it's what it is right now. And I think for now they should let this thing sleep, because the more this thing lingers, the more it's going to affect the concentration of the coach on the team. The more it's going to affect the players themselves, because like it or leave it, the players have formed a bond with the manager. I mean, we've heard the players come out once or twice to talk about how fond they are of the manager, how they enjoy being around the team. I mean, new boys come around. You don't even need them to tell you these days. You see pictures of them. Sometimes you see videos. Some of them upload on their social media handles. You see the joy. You see the happiness whenever they are around together with themselves, with the coach and all that. I think this synergy should be allowed to stay. We shouldn't now spoil everything just within the 6 months of Genethro's last days, if at all they are going to be his last days as the Super Eagles manager. Allow him stay and see out his contract. I don't know if this is a ploy to maybe make the man angry, like Thomas Deneby was, and walk out on his contract or something like that, and maybe they get to employ someone else. But honestly, for me, yes, you overstepped his boundaries by going to disclose the details of his contract, which is a breach of contract.